Welcome to SAP Configuration General by Greg Olnick. Hello, my name is Greg Olnick. I'll be your instructor. This is my dog Sasha. People usually think I'm on the computer all the time. Often I'm at the beach walking my dog. So I've been teaching adults how to use computer software for over 30 years. From Microsoft Access to Excel, Word, of course, Project. Since 2003, I've been specializing in SAP plant maintenance, teaching, coaching engineers, planners, technicians, and also doing master data cleansing and preventative maintenance builds, mass load, and some configuration recommendations. So I hope you enjoy the course. My experience also is dealing with industries such as oil and gas, mining, pulp and paper, and utilities. Have a great day. The SAP acronym is often joked about. A lot of people call it things like systems against people and so on. Even one company had a contest where people would submit their favorite acronyms, and they ended up giving some cups, like these mugs, to the winners, and you notice they're all very negative. So I used to say that SAP stands for super amazing program, because I need to have a positive attitude to teach SAP, and the users need to have a positive attitude to learn it well. So now I say super amazing pizza, because like pizza, you can have it in any different flavors, any different toppings, and some people don't like anchovies. So some companies, when they implement SAP, they do a lot of customizations that are beyond standard SAP or best practices or common practices. And essentially, it's like putting a lot of anchovies on the pizza. And if it causes problems with the software or with the user's success, like they have a hard time using it, then basically the company sometimes ends up taking off some of those anchovies. So it's very customizable. That's part of the beauty of SAP, but it's also can be a pitfall. And some companies don't implement it perfectly for go live. They may not have the money or the time or the expertise to make a perfect SAP implementation. So it's really good to revisit after a year or two of using SAP, to revisit what customizations were either neglected or just missed, and what constant improvement could be done. So that's not necessarily neglect, but sometimes it is. So who needs to understand SAP configuration? I think everybody does a little bit. That's just the idea that it's customizable, and that if you're working for a company X, company YZ may be using it in a different way. SAP consultants, of course, need to understand configuration quite well. Not just the general stuff that we'll be covering in this course, but also the specific customizations in the module that they are working with. People implementing SAP, like the project managers, they also have to be aware of some of the configuration options and their impact and their the effect on the users and on the system. So having that knowledge, they can better guide the client in making those choices and managing the configuration to match their business process. The IT support also has to understand configuration to some degree, so they understand the issues and connection points and common problems that they might experience, and what's standard SAP and what is part of the configuration or customizations that have been added into SAP. So, like I mentioned, constant improvements post go live. It's really good to learn about configuration. So our agenda for this course essentially is initially just to go into the SPRO transaction screen and talk about navigating it, reading the notes. There's different notes on the system and the version that you're using. How to search for transactions, you get them quicker. We'll also be covering getting to screens real quick by using transaction codes. And we'll just navigate this and get comfortable with some of the main structures in SPRO. The generic configurations in this course will be, generally speaking, focused on plant maintenance, but it is on many, many modules of SAP. The business functions is wide scope. It's like modules that can be activated. You can see the status of modules in SAP. Notification configurations, it's not just for plant maintenance, it's also for service orders, quality orders, quality notifications. And some companies use notifications for like a help desk. Some use it for a wide variety of things. So understanding all the configurations of notifications is very useful. And the catalogs that go with that. So understanding what is a catalog and the different things you can do inside SAP catalogs. We'll also be talking about number ranges that are used in a wide variety of things and objects in SAP, not just notifications, but equipment, orders, warranty, serial numbers, material numbers, all that. So about how you can set up those number ranges. A lot of them are already set up for you, but how you can go in also and customize and add to them. Priorities will initially be focused on priorities for notifications and how they impact the start and suggested finish date of that notification, which influences the order, and how to create those priorities and how to modify their influences. Also, user status. The standard SAP objects have a system status, which is things that are basically SAP controls. Like when you create an object, that's its initial status is created, and when you say release an object, then its status becomes released. But there's also user statuses that you can define for matching to your business process better, and also for workflow. You can actually control with authorization who's allowed to change the status at different points in an object's life cycle. So user status is very important. Characteristics, things like color, temperature, all those sorts of characteristics of objects, things like even material characteristics, and we'll be going into how you can customize those. Variants and layouts, all the search screens in SAP, well, those can be configured in to have better default settings, and so that all your users are starting from the same basic default that you want to have them see as a company wide. And also the layouts, those reports, you can have those improved and delivered globally in a more user-friendly way. And lastly, we'll wrap it up by just talking a bit more about transport, so about how you can transport the configurations from your project from the, say you do your configuration and development, and then you can transport those into Q&A for quality analysis and testing, and then you can transfer, when everything passes the test, then you can transport those into production, which is the real world of SAP. So I hope you enjoy the course.